Welcome to Baibars, the podcast where we delve into the lives of history's most fascinating military leaders. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're going to explore the captivating story of Baibars, the renowned Mamluk Sultan who left an indelible mark on the medieval world. Born into a world of turmoil and conquest, Baibars would rise from humble beginnings to become one of the most feared and respected warriors of his time. Baibars was born around 1223 AD in the Kipchak steppes, a vast grassland region stretching from modern-day Ukraine to Kazakhstan. His early life was marked by the constant threat of Mongol raids and the harsh realities of nomadic life. The Kipchak steppes, with their rolling hills and endless skies, were home to various Turkic tribes, including the Kipchaks, who were known for their skilled horsemanship and fierce warrior culture. As a child, Baibars would have learned the ways of the steppe, including horse riding, archery, and survival skills. His family, likely members of the Kipchak tribe, would have been part of a larger tribal network with its own social hierarchy and customs. The steppes were a place of harsh beauty, where the sun dipped into the horizon and painted the sky with hues of crimson and gold. It was here that Baibars developed his early skills as a warrior and learned the importance of loyalty, honor, and resilience. In 236, when Baibars was around 13 years old, he was sold into slavery, a common practice among the tribes of the steppes. This twist of fate would eventually lead him to Egypt, where he would be enrolled in the prestigious Mamluk Corps, an elite group of slave soldiers who rose through the ranks based on merit rather than birth. The Mamluks were known for their martial prowess, discipline, and loyalty, qualities that Baibars would embody and later surpass. During his time as a slave, Baibars would have been exposed to various cultures, including Islamic traditions, which would later influence his worldview and military strategies. He would have learned Arabic, the language of the Quran, and become familiar with the customs and practices of the Muslim world. This early exposure to Islam would shape his future decisions and inform his relationships with other leaders in the region. Baibars' early life was marked by significant events and people that shaped his character and future path. His experiences on the steppes, combined with his time as a slave, taught him valuable skills such as resilience, adaptability, and leadership. These traits, honed during his formative years, would serve him well in his later military campaigns and ultimately propel him to greatness. The lessons he learned on the steppes, combined with the discipline and training he would receive as a Mamluk, laid the groundwork for his future achievements. As a member of the Mamluk Corps, Baibars quickly rose through the ranks due to his exceptional martial skills, strategic mind, and leadership abilities. He became a trusted companion to the Ayyubid Sultan, Al-Salih Ayyub, who ruled Egypt from 1240 to 1249. During this period, Baibars participated in numerous military campaigns against the Crusaders, including the Battle of Laforbi in 1244, where he distinguished himself as a fearless and skilled warrior. Baibars' military prowess was not limited to traditional battles. He was also an expert in guerrilla warfare, often employing hit-and-run tactics to harass and disrupt enemy supply lines. His knowledge of the terrain, gained from his early life on the steppes, allowed him to navigate the desert landscapes with ease, catching his enemies off guard and exploiting their weaknesses. One notable example of Baibars' innovative military strategies was his use of espionage and intelligence gathering. He established a network of spies and informants throughout the region, providing him with valuable insights into enemy plans and movements. This allowed him to stay one step ahead of his adversaries, anticipating their actions and preparing effective countermeasures. Baibars' rise through the Mamluk ranks was not without its challenges, however. He faced fierce competition from other ambitious Mamluks who sought to undermine his authority and claim power for themselves. Nevertheless, Baibars persevered, relying on his cunning and charisma to build alliances and secure the loyalty of his comrades. As Al-Salih Ayyub's health began to decline, Baibars found himself at the center of a power struggle between various factions vying for control of Egypt. He navigated this treacherous landscape with skill, forming strategic alliances and eliminating potential rivals through a combination of diplomacy and force. In 1250, following the death of al-Salih Ayyub, Baibars played a key role in the accession of his son, al-Muazzam Turanshah, to the throne. However, this new sultan's reign was short-lived, as he was soon overthrown and killed by a group of rebellious Mamluks. Baibars, who had grown disillusioned with al-Muazzam's leadership, was instrumental in this coup, paving the way for his own eventual rise to power. As we reflect on this period in Baibars' life, it becomes clear that his experiences as a slave soldier, combined with his natural leadership abilities and strategic mind, had prepared him for the challenges of ruling Egypt. His ability to adapt to changing circumstances, forge alliances, and eliminate rivals would serve him well in the years to come. In the words of the medieval historian Ibn al-Furat, Baibars was a man of great courage and cunning, who rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most powerful rulers of his time. This assessment is echoed by other contemporaries, who praised Baibars' martial prowess, his innovative military strategies, and his unwavering determination. From his early days as a slave soldier to his emergence as a key player in Egyptian politics, Baibars had demonstrated the courage, cunning, and leadership abilities that would ultimately propel him to greatness. Baibars' ascent to the throne in 1260 marked the beginning of a new era in Egyptian history. He quickly established himself as a shrewd and ambitious leader, determined to expand Egypt's borders and secure its position as a dominant power in the region. One of his most notable achievements was the conquest of Syria, which had been fragmented into various petty states following the Mongol invasions. Baibars' military campaigns in Syria were characterized by their speed, cunning, and brutality. He employed innovative tactics, such as the use of spies and scouts to gather intelligence on enemy movements, and the deployment of lightly armed cavalry to outmaneuver his foes. His armies swept across the region, capturing key cities and fortresses, including Damascus, Aleppo, and Homs. Baibars' relationships with other leaders were complex and multifaceted. He formed alliances with the Golden Horde, a Mongol Khanate that ruled over present-day Russia and Ukraine, and with the Seljuk Turks, who controlled much of Anatolia. These alliances allowed him to secure Egypt's northern borders and gain access to valuable trade routes. However, Baibars' most significant challenge came from the Mongols, who had been expanding their empire under the leadership of Hulagu Khan. In 1260, Baibars faced off against the Mongol army at the Battle of Ain Jalut, a decisive victory that halted the Mongol advance and secured Egypt's independence. Baibars' legacy extends far beyond his military conquests. He was a patron of the arts and architecture, commissioning numerous buildings, including mosques, madrasas, and hospitals. He also established a robust administrative system, which allowed him to maintain control over his vast territories and ensure the efficient collection of taxes. As we reflect on Baibars' later life, it becomes clear that his remarkable story was marked by a series of triumphs and challenges. From his conquests in Syria to his battles against the Mongols, Baibars had demonstrated the courage, cunning, and leadership abilities that would ultimately cement his place as one of the greatest rulers in Egyptian history. In the words of the medieval historian Ibn Khaldun, Baibars was a man of great vision and determination who transformed Egypt into a powerful and prosperous state. This assessment is echoed by other contemporaries, who praised Baibars' military prowess, his administrative skills, and his patronage of the arts. From his humble beginnings as a slave soldier to his emergence as one of the most powerful rulers of his time, Baibars had demonstrated the courage, cunning, and leadership abilities that would inspire generations to come. In the end, Baibars' legacy serves as a testament to the power of human ingenuity and determination. His remarkable story reminds us that, even in the face of adversity, we have the capacity to shape our own destinies and leave a lasting impact on the world around us. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the life and times of Baibars, one of the most fascinating figures in medieval history. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.